Let's talk about images. Embedding an image on the page is pretty simple. Hannah, your turn. Let's leave this on. In this case, let's get rid of Fox. The whole tag. In this case, I mentioned before that there are a few HTML tags that differ from the open tag and close tag style. There's A and then /A later. Some tags like images just exist in a singular form. There's just an image tag, img. There's no /image later because it doesn't end later. It simply exists in one state. So in this case, it's bracket img. And in the way that HTML is written these days, put in a space, would you? And then a slash, and then a close bracket. And the reason why this is done is that every tag has a slash in it. Whether it's a pair or a singular, it's got to have the slash so it knows where it ends. This is, I'll save you the technical explanation of why this is. This is a somewhat newer creation in HTML, but this is proper HTML is written with a slash before the bracket when you have a singular tag like this.
Say that again? Sorry.
That's right.
You have one in the front.
Normally, you would write a tag like less than img and then greater than. In this case, because there's no /image later, you still need to have the slash in there somewhere. And so the slash appears actually within the singular tag by itself.
So no, it ends.
So that ends the image tag. So this is the image tag all by itself. You don't have to have another bookend later. And of course, you need to know what the file name is, of course. So that's the source of the image. Just put in a space, and then source equals src equals. It's actually src equals. It was supposed to be easier to type.
I wasn't listening.
That's all right. And you can do quotation marks fox.jpg.
Oops, again.
Yep. So this is an image tag. You'll want to put more attributes on it, but this is the basics of it right here. Image, and then source is whatever the file name is. And you can link, if you're linking to a file in the same folder, it's just file name. If you're linking to another folder, it's animals/fox.jpg. If you're linking to another website, then you want the HTTP in front of it, and you actually want to spell out the full image name on the web. Let's copy that, and let's put one on dog, too. So let's, hey, hello, sorry, welcome. There's a open point there. So let's change fox to dog, please. So now you have 2 image tags. There you go. Hannah, I can't believe you would do that. That's terrible.
Not me, I'm reading what you're
Jeez,
doing.
Hannah.
There are a number of other attributes you can apply to image tags. If you want to change, for instance, the size of the image, you would use width and height. So in this case, who's right there?
You knew he was here?
No.
Oh, he just passed by?
Yeah, that's fine. Why don't you type a space and add 2 more attributes, width equals. It's actually spelled out this time. W-I-D-T-H. I am so sleepy today.
Wait, I'm with
Yeah.
you. I'm half listening
Right.
now.
Width equals, and then say number 50 in quotation marks. I'm missing one. Right there.
I don't have to
50.
do that, right?
No, you
Is that what
do.
you're saying?
Yeah, you need to
You
keep
want
quotes.
it for
You
the
have quotes on both
Right.
sides.
It's like you're pretending.
Oh, but is it just singular?
Yes.
quote?
Width equals 50. If you
It can be
feel like
both.
So it doesn't matter.
Do it like
And then another one is height equals 50.
So just another space.
Right.
Scott, if you only put in one or the other, either like width or height, would it just scale it proportionally, or would
Right.
it?
No, it'll scale it proportionally. Let's take a look at 50 by 50 here to produce a square. So I have exactly 50 pixels. You can make this 50 by 100. You can make it 50 by 1,000 if you want a really tall one. You can set any size you want to, and as Travis was saying, it'll size proportionately. So let's take off height equals 50.
But if you put in dimensions that aren't proportional to what the real size is, it squishes it, huh? Like it just did for her. Because like it's not a perfect square to begin with, so
Right.
It'll
it's
distort
work
easier.
it
your
out.
image.
Yeah.
Right.
How does it know where
Don't do that.
In this case, it's the same folder. So I've saved, in the same folder where I have index.html, I have fox.jpg. So if I had a separate folder, I would have to call it like animals and have animals/fox.jpg as the link. Makes sense?
The folder where you have all your images.
Yeah. He has index where he has the pictures.
Show the folder.
and everything.
I think that was the part I missed because I was late.
Sure.
Yeah.
Fox and index, they're all in the same folder. They're on the desktop.
Okay.
One more, and then you can get rid of the keyboard. Please. Alt equals. You've probably heard of this, editors certainly have heard of this for SEO purposes. You can put an alt tag on something, and then within quotation marks would be a comment that describes something. So, like Jenny Fox in this case could be your content of that. And this describes it for search engines and browsers for the blind. I don't think IE8 still does. No, it still does mouse overs and alt tags.
Yeah.
So I'll show you what the little tooltip is there. But it really serves two purposes. One is tagging it for search engines so they know what the content of the image is because they can't just guess based on the file name. And the other is search engines for the blind will actually parse the text and read it with a voice synthesizer and describe what the image is. And if you don't have that, it doesn't know what it is.
For the image file names,
Mhm.
other than somewhat making sense for your own personal use,
Mhm.
does it matter at all? It's not it's only reading the alt tag, so it's like say the Fox image we call Flu Hound. I
Sure.
don't know. Is there any benefit to actually calling it Fox what it is, being clear and simple, other than us finding it?
In search engine optimization, it is generally believed that calling it what it is appropriate, and that's going to help search engines index it. I don't know that that's actually true. It's speculation.
Because they're looking at the alt tag first anyway.
Right, they're looking at the alt type primarily. But yeah, for your own purposes, organizing it that way. And it depends on whether, if you're going to have a series of slideshows, do you create a folder for each slideshow and then have 1.jpg, 2.jpg, 3.jpg, or do you save them all in the same folder and have slideshow 1-1.jpg, slideshow 1-2.jpg, and try to group them all together? It's your own preference, what makes more sense to you. It'll work both ways in the browser. As long as you've typed the folder names correctly, you can put it anywhere you want to.
But if you call it slideshow 1 versus slideshow 1 Fox, it doesn't really matter.
No. Any other questions about images? Okay.
Just for, sorry, for SEO purposes, you guys have done this before, but if your CMS doesn't accept or doesn't read something about the image that's going to generate the alt tag, then you need to ask the developer to add that to the CMS. If you're doing a site from scratch, most of them have some way of taking the captions and converting that into the alt tag, or it reads them as the same, but you can have them be different, so you can ask for that field to be added if it isn't present.
To link that image now, you put where the A is like before that, right? Before the image.
Mm-hmm. In fact, let's do that. Susie, would you please create a link to fox.html?
Before this?
Bracket A.
Do I need
We call it, say, fox.html is fine.
just Fox page?
And then we close it all the way to the end and everything.
Mm-hmm.
And then after it.
Right. Go. Now, two things about this, linking an image. First of all, when you link an image, I don't know if y'all can see that, but it creates a blue line around it. And that's because when you link a word, it's going to underline the word, and the same idea when you link an image, you're going to outline the image. That's the way the browsers work, but almost never do you actually want to outline an image like that. That's very, very old school. And so the only way to get rid of that is to add one more attribute to the image tag, which is border equals 0.